All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for January 29th through the 4th of February, 2018. All right, so a lunar eclipse here on Wednesday, and this is in your 8th house of everything deeper in life, uncovering the hidden things within ourselves that we can accept and through that transform. The house of facing fears, inhibitions, maybe doing some healing. And in the area of interpersonal relationships, developing vulnerability, openness, trust in relationships, and also a bit of interdependency as well with the material stuff. So really good to do this status check with these things in your life this week. There's going to be some insight for all of us with this lunar eclipse and really seeing how with the North Node now shifting into here these first few months of the year, how 2018 is going to be about the development of, again, fundamentally what matters most in life. So let's look at that along with some of these other aspects we have this week here in more detail when we return. All right, Sagittarius, here is your chart for the week. As a reminder, this video is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. And you do want to make sure that your sun, moon, or ascendant is in fact in Sagittarius. Also, I do have an announcement to make. This is going to be my last weekly, at least for a little while. I am going to be taking a break from the weeklies here for a bit. I am still going to be doing the dailies, but as a lot of you know who've been following my channel for the past up to 4 years, know that I do need to take a bit of a break with the weeklies from time to time. So I'll be doing that, and then maybe soon I'll be back to the weeklies, but I'll still be doing the dailies, so be sure to stay tuned for that. So let's talk about the beginning of the week. We have Mars going into your 12th house. This is the house of getting deeper in life in the sense of finding peace. You may find that there's this now desire and motivation to have peace in your life. And it might be really good to get your alone time, maybe do some spiritual activities, maybe even physically active spiritual activities with Mars in the 12th, like active yoga or martial arts, or even running or exercising, anything that helps us get into a state of presence that might be active with Mars there. And you may be even too noticing that there is indirect ways of going about things that we want in life, that sometimes the most direct way isn't necessarily the best way. Sometimes it's about taking a step back. Sometimes we need to get some rest. Sometimes we need to listen to our intuition. Sometimes we need to kind of go with the flow, right? So this kind of receptive energy really coming into your active side with Mars in the 12th here for about the next month and a half. Now, also early in the week, we do have Venus going over the South Node. So this is bringing balance back. It's going to help bring balance back, I think, to your second house, which is the house of finances, resources, investment, savings. That's really where you're focused right now, I think, with the sun here. And fundamentally, this is with your sense of self-worth. So if you do notice that there are any old values regarding your material life or regarding who you are on that essential level regarding your self-esteem, your self-worth, maybe letting some old perspectives go, that can help bring some balance back to this area. And Venus over the South Node will help you do that. Now, when we get to Wednesday with the lunar eclipse, this is going to be illuminating, again, the deeper side of our values, the deeper values in general. So with this insight around Wednesday, sort of noticing that the key to bringing balance back to your self-reliance, to your resources in life, is about seeing what are your deeper values, right? And again, in interpersonal relationships, developing those deeper connections there, vulnerability, openness, trust in relationships, whether it's emotional or sometimes if it's shared resources, also materially, right? If it's interpersonal, but most fundamentally with the 8th, it is about becoming aware of our deeper values and diving deep within ourself to accept, all aspects of self, right? And a lot that can be uncovered during this full moon about who you are on a core level. And again, what matters most. So with that insight, I think it's great to accept all dimensions of self, of life, of relationships, whatever it might be. And that's going to sort of help this energy come in, because with this insight, It's essentially saying that over the next 6 months, you'll be implementing and developing more of these deeper values in your life. So very important here, new life path shifts. Also notice it's kind of new with the North Node shifting into here for these first few months of the year here. Now Mercury is going into your second house of finances and resources, so your mind will likely go a little bit more into this area. It's likely just going to be adding to the energy that's already there. Like I said, you're already focused on it with the sun. You are gaining energy too when you are accessing your self-reliance, connecting to earth, being grateful for what you have in life. And then over the weekend, the sun does go over the south node. So the sun does illuminate and bring some extra conscious attention to some of these patterns. Again, old patterns, unhealthy patterns. Again, where you can bring balance back to your self-reliance and to your resources. So over the weekend, could be insight about that. It's a spiritual kind of insight about, again, finding balance through releasing. And again, remembering too that the key to that balance is the development of your deeper values, right? Now, over the weekend, we do have Mercury sextiling up to Mars. So there's good synergy, I think, with your financial resourceful area with this. And it's a good synergy to also, again, get in some of that alone time, right? Or some of that meditative time, spiritual time with Mars in that 12th house. Venus is going to be squaring up to Jupiter over the weekend. So it's also a reminder that in 2018, what's expanding for you is your future aspirations, right? It is a time of cultivating your future ideals. So taking the constructive approach to that, to build that, to implement that, one step at a time with the square is great. Also, too, anything that involves groups or friends or community stuff, really good to maybe take some action towards some of that stuff to build and concretize for the long term with that square. All right, so Sagittarius, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon for the next daily forecast.